Yay, yay.
No, I hear it.
Okay, awesome. Yay, yay.
All right, I'm gonna shut off my. I'm just gonna lie. I need to lie down. I'm gonna.
Okay, no worries. Yes. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be with you guys. I'll just be lying. Oh God, my brain. Someone's been keeping me up. Oh gosh.
Yay! I'm so excited for this. So welcome to our bi-weekly Starseed Community Circle. And we're going to go ahead and get started with a little meditation moment to ground ourselves. And then we'll open up the floor for talking today about honoring ourselves and taking care of ourselves. Yes, as we transition from Aries season into Taurus season, I felt like this was perfect timing for this topic, and especially because I feel like as springtime, summertime starts approaching, there is a lot more yang energy, and it's really important for us to take care of ourselves so then we can better take care of others. So let's get into the meditation today. I'm tuning in from outer space, and so I don't have my bowls with me, but I am going to guide you through a little guided meditation moment so we can all ground ourselves. So, yes. All right. So, and you guys can hear the music, right? And you can also still hear my voice, hopefully. So,
yes.
Perfect. Yay. All right. So let's get settled. Yes, if you want to sit, lay down, whatever feels good for you. You can go ahead and take a big deep breath in and let it all out. And you can take however many deep breaths for yourself in your own time. And I invite you to close down the eyes, to take a moment to check in with how you're feeling, with what you're experiencing emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And as we take a moment to tune in, do this little check-in, you can take inventory of all of this in the present moment and see if you can notice it without judgment or any criticizing. Just taking inventory. And as you start to bring this focus inward, as you do this check-in with yourself, if you notice any stress, any tension, anything that doesn't feel good for you, you can give yourself permission to release it out with your exhale. And maybe any stress or tension that you find in your body, you can send it to your lungs, send it to the air, and then as you exhale, you can feel it leaving your body, releasing it to Mother Earth. And with every inhale, you can breathe in the love, breathe in the light from the sun, from Mother Earth. And as you continue breathing, you can feel this cycle of giving and receiving. Allowing yourself to breathe in all that is nourishing, and breathing out all that needs to be released, all that is no longer needed. And maybe it feels good to take a little body scan for yourself. As you allow yourself to take time and space to release any energies that don't serve you anymore. And allowing yourself to fill up with this divine love and light that surrounds us. And if you notice a particularly tense or tight spot in your body, you can breathe deep into that area. Or if it feels good, or if it feels right for you, you can even place your hands there, allowing yourself to give a little extra love there. As you scan down, taking as much time as you need, allowing this face to relax, allowing the shoulders and the spine to relax. Maybe you can tune in to the fluidity of your spine, to the fluidity of the blood that is circulating all throughout your body, delivering new energy, taking this time to tune all the way in and down into all of your internal organs. Maybe it feels good to say thank you to this body for all that it does for you. And it is so wonderful that this body knows exactly how to breathe, how to digest and transform energy to your benefit. And as you breathe in, you can breathe in love, allowing it to seep in through your lungs and radiating all throughout your body. And as you scan and release, you can allow yourself to transmute any tensions, allowing it to melt and transform into love. As you use the power of your breath and it is so wonderful that this body knows how to breathe without your conscious effort or even your awareness. It knows how to continually refresh effortlessly and with ease. And once you're finished scanning and filling your entire body up with love, feeling every single cell of your body attuning to the frequency of love and healing. You can allow yourself to bask in this good feeling. Any good feeling that you are able to experience right now. You can allow yourself to milk it a little more, bask in it a little deeper. Giving yourself permission to fully enjoy this experience of having a physical body. This incredible vessel. That allows us to embody love in physical form. And as you bask, you can say thank you to yourself, to this body, for showing up and allowing yourself to experience this right now. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself back, slowly introducing movement back into your body with this new awareness, with this new embodiment as we enter this new moment. And maybe it feels good to do a little stretch. Maybe it feels good to give yourself a hug. Slowly making your way back to the screen. Taking as much time as you need. And once you've made it back to the screen, I would love to know how you're feeling right now. And you can go ahead and unmute. Oh my God, yes. I love the smiles. Hi, Kat.
Hello.
So good to see you. Yes, we are live. Yes, this is
Hi, Kat.
my first time trying it out.
Where is your face, Eric?
I am very, very tired.
Look at this water retention. So nice.
And I am. Thank you for the meditation, WISTY. I really needed that. That really kind of focused me, but I'm not ready to put my camera on yet because I'm still.
That's okay. Yes, whatever is most comfortable for you. As you know, this is sacred safe space for you to be you, and we want to honor your whatever you're feeling, your comfort level. So totally no pressure. I mean, obviously it's nice to be able to see everyone, but yeah, totally no pressure. And I know Michelle is, moving, and there's a lot going on too. So no worries.
I guess there's a lot going on with everyone, huh?
Yeah. So I wanted to take a moment to check in with how everyone is feeling, and so the topic for today is taking care of ourselves, honoring ourselves. And so I feel like, especially now, we could all use that quite a bit. So I wanted to open it up.
I have not a question or it's kind of like I want to know what you guys think about this. So lately, the feedback from many of the people online who are into our stuff and fifth dimension, etc., etc., etc. Their advice or the feedback from a lot of them is a lot of them are living relationships that are dysfunctional, and a lot of them are finally like honoring and like these roaring like this is not my frequency. And I feel that, so yesterday there was a live with two people, and one of them was saying, well, it's very Jesus like to like the Christ consciousness is very good at saying you are down here, I'm not even gonna mess with you, I'm not even gonna enter that. And I just kept thinking, I don't know if it's my ego justifying the fact that maybe sometimes we pretend to be ready to come back into situations, and maybe our ego, because the ego is like but maybe things have changed, maybe you are stronger this time, you never know, how about we practice, because the ego doesn't want these other levels, so it freaks out, it tells you how it can like protect you at this level. And so I don't know if it's my ego justifying, arguing. I was debating internally, I'm like, no, imagine if actually Jesus was like, oh hell no, like you're gonna crucify me, I'm not coming there. Oh, those guys are like here, I'm not gonna even like. He was the absolute opposite, and by that I'm not promoting going into situations that are either destructive or challenging, but I feel like there's a dissonance because there's all this talk about how it takes a second to be empowered, and now in this new era it's not like back in the day. A lot of people who have been reincarnated over and over and over, all their experiences up until this lifetime have been, I'm about to make it, but then I'm stoned to death. I'm about to make it, but my husband murders me. I'm about to say no to this, but then something happens. And this is the lifetime where it's going to take a day or two. It's not like months of, it's not like old school training. It's almost instantaneous. And I feel like there's a dissonance between this all-encompassing, takes 1 second, takes just awareness to change and transmute, and this like, unless it's an ex that it's a little toxic, in which case we're just like. And so I want to know what people think about that.
This is such a good question. And before, I want to just say, like, it's so interesting because, like, yes, so this, okay, in my understanding of Jesus, he was so in alignment that the outside environment the energetic environment, he wasn't letting that affect his energy field, because he was so grounded in his own alignment and what he, what he, wanted and whatever, everything, right? And this is why he was so powerful, because he didn't let anything else affect him. But also with that alignment, he knew that he was well, he knew that he was loved, he knew that he was in alignment regardless of that environment. And so therefore it's okay to, like, it's kind of like, it's okay whatever else happens, it's okay, because he knew himself. He knew, okay, like, it's fine for me to be crucified, because it's like, this is okay, like, this is the divine timing of everything, right? Trusting that divine timing. So in terms of like toxic environments, protecting yourself from an ex, whatever, all of that, right? So it comes down to what is vibrationally active in your field, right? And so usually for us, it takes some time for us to heal and deactivate different emotions, thought patterns, whatever that comes from a past relationship, or a toxic ex, whatever. Because especially if it's fresh, right? It's when you're in one vibration, right? It's like if you're in the vibration of the breakup or the contrasting moment, right? Then you can't just automatically flip that switch, right? You have to make your way up the emotional scale, the vibrational scale, right? To be able to shift and transmute it, and sometimes that can, like, in terms of time, that can happen fairly quickly, right? But it's up to the person, right? And as long as there is vibrational whatever, like, it's like, okay, if there's something active vibrationally, like, okay, I was hurt from this person, or I have a memory of this person, right? And every time you think of that person or whatever, it's bringing up negative feelings, negative emotions, whatever, that's an indication that you're not vibrationally up to speed yet, right? It's like, okay, I gotta like work my way up, right? And so that's why space, protecting yourself is important in those. It's like, if that's happening, then yes, please, you gotta protect yourself, get to a safe space where you can do that work of shifting. Once you've done that, and you really, it's like you feel, okay, no negative emotion thinking about this person or about the situation, whatever, then okay, my energy field has shifted and it's safe for me to go back out into the environment, whatever it is, because I'm in a different vibrational place, and I'm not going to let the outside environment affect me, because I am grounded in my knowing. And so that process is different for everyone. And so, yeah, it's like sometimes that can happen very quickly and whatever, and it's like you can go out into that environment and be fine. And other times it takes a little longer, especially if there's, some deep reprogramming to do.
Right.
And so there's really no right or wrong with this. Like, there's no like period of time that you need or whatever, but it really comes down to the emotion. How are you feeling? It's like, if you feel triggered in that environment, okay, yes, you got to listen to this emotional guidance system, because that is really the indicator of telling you, okay, this is it's like, where am I in terms of where I want to be? Am I in this side, or am I on this side? Okay, if I'm still on this triggered point, when I'm triggered and it's like, okay, not feeling good, what is there to work out? Right? Because there's more to work out. So does that help? Does that answer your question?
How did Jesus do it? Is it like a cross time? Is it like a timeline cross-sectional vision? Because I can't imagine if you right now today in this conversation absolutely sell me out, deny everything I'm doing, actually start just gossiping against me. I can't imagine being like, I wonder what WISTY is doing tomorrow. Like, it would just be like, that's triggering, you hurt me, I need to protect myself from you, I need some time. How did he do this? Like, oh, that didn't even happen. I'm like, I'm already in another timeline and I already saw what's happening. It's part of the plan.
I'm thinking that he didn't, I don't know, but my first thought was he didn't really have a choice because it was everywhere, right? It was like everybody was kind of, he didn't have a way to escape really because everybody was against him. And then I don't know if that's accurate, but that's just how I imagine it. Like he couldn't be like, oh, screw you guys, I'm gonna go talk to these other friends and not talk to you. Because it was just like the whole world or the whole people surrounding him.
But he did it, no? Didn't he do it a bunch of times? He'd be like Mount of Olives and like, no guys, excuse me, actually I know what you're about to ask me, so I have to remove myself to this other town.
It's about being calm, accepting other people's point of views, and it's their choice. You can't change someone else's view, but all you can do is like, hey, it's okay. You believe what you want to, and that's fine. We're always going to be here for when you're ready.
That part's to be determined.
Yes, I feel like he was so he was so strong and grounded in his knowing of his own well-being and of everyone else's well-being. And so it's like when you're in that alignment, that frequency, that high vibrational frequency, then you can look at a situation, and when you see that situation, you are naturally able to find the solutions because you are in the vibrational frequency of the solutions. And also he understood that everyone has free will. And so it's like he can radiate his frequency, he can be grounded in his own frequency, and he can know the well-being, see the well-being of everyone else's journey, and the divine timing of all of it. And this is, it's like, this is why he taught what he did, but he was leading by example and leading by his own guidance system, right? He wasn't like, he wasn't pushing anyone, he wasn't forcing anyone, right? He's allowing, and he's loving, and he's forgiving, right? So because he understood that, you can't get there from here, you can't flip that switch, right? And there's a process, but one thing that I think about a lot is like how he was able to heal people, right? And it's like he was, when he saw a sick person, whatever, he was so anchored, so grounded in the knowing of their well-being, that the sickness would dissipate and that person would be able to be attuned to the frequency of well-being and they would heal themselves. So it's really Jesus radiating the vibrational frequency of well-being, and that was the person was, in this point of giving up, of surrendering to that. And so then he said, go out and tell no one, about what happened or whatever, because he knew that if they went talking about what had happened, everyone else would say, oh, that's crazy, oh, whatever, blah, blah, and then they would go back into the frequency of the sickness. So again, yeah, this is just my personal understanding of everything of that, but yeah, it's really like that leading by example and being anchored in your own well-being, because when you're in that alignment, then you are like, that's when you have the power, that's when you're plugged in, right? That's when you have access to universal energy, right? And then you're able to forgive, and you're able to you're able to help, and you're able to whatever do all the things that you want to do that's in vibrational alignment with you.
Thank you for that.
Hi, Loic. We're just getting started talking about all this stuff. We were just talking about Jesus.
Okay.
And yes. And hi, Monish. Oh my God. So happy y'all are here.
Yo, Loic. Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm a little tired. Someone's been keeping me up. I'll talk more about that later, but all right. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Monish. And thanks for sharing with a lot of stuff, me, Monish, because that was deep. I'm glad I'm able to help you with that, all the stuff. I love you all. I'm really tired.
Same. And yeah, I love
it. Well, it's perfect because I feel like this, I mean, yeah, for me, it's like I really want to talk about ways to nourish ourselves, and like, yeah, especially it's like when we're tired, it's like an indication that we need that nourishment, we need that love for ourselves. And so yeah, I would love to talk about different ways that we nourish ourselves. So I mean, one way that we just experienced was this meditation. And I feel like meditation is something that is kind of like mainstream, and it's like this new hot thing. But there's really no wrong way to do it. And in my opinion, it's like, as long as it's really presence, right? That awareness of the now, because that is really where the power is. That's really where your power is, and where that opportunity of nourishment and refreshment is. So I wanted to, I guess I also just wonder, like, what are some ways that you all, how do you nourish yourself, like energetically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the different ways?
I would go to the grocery store, or when I was living at when I was visiting my mom, and we were like packing up. So my mom recently sold the house that I grew up in, so I was visiting. That was many months ago, and it's because my father passed away, and then the house is, my mom wanted to move back to California, and there was this very big house that she doesn't need anymore because it's just her. So we all moved back to help her, and I was going to the farmer's market and just going to all the vendors and looking at the vegetables, the different colored vegetables by myself, and being like, whoa, what is that? And there's like purple cauliflower, and there was all these things, and it was like all these colors of very fresh produce, and it was just me talking with and I was doing my chef thing, and like no one else knew that I was doing my chef thing, but I was like, whoa. And then I would go back home and, you know, come up with recipes on how to make wonderful dishes on those things. And, you know, sometimes I would cook for someone, but not necessarily, but it was just me doing my art thing by myself, right? And then me collecting the materials for that art thing, and me being excited about a purple cauliflower because it's purple and it's like purple food today, right? That was cool. I remember that. It was like sometimes, well, you know, sometimes I get excited just going to the grocery store because I'm a chef, but that's just me. Like I think other people have something else. They go to the art store and they collect their stencils and their right, their stickers, and they're all right. And you know, everybody has their thing, right? But I think for me it was like grocery store. What am I gonna eat today? And what I'm gonna cook just for me today. Nobody else gets it, right? Because I love this food. Nobody else does, but it's okay because it's like you know, just for me. So yeah, that's my share.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up cooking because I feel like that is, yeah, it's physically and energetically all the ways nourishing ourselves. And when you have that feeling of excitement and joy and love in the food that you're making or eating, then you are transmuting, you know, you're transforming the vibrational frequency of that food, and you're infusing that light energy into the food, and then you're eating that food and it's becoming you, it's becoming a part of your cells, and it's like living through you, your body and your experience. And so yeah, I love that. Oh, thank you for sharing. Does anyone else like cooking or food?
Absolutely.
Like for me, yeah, I love like food alchemy.
I remember for me, I was watching something yesterday and actually energized me. So I would say what you watch as well, right? That's a way to energize you. I mean, yesterday, so I watched a show about entrepreneurs who are trying to create a business from scratch with $100 to come up with a business to come up with a business and evaluation of $1 million at the end of 90 days. And I started watching one episode at maybe 9 p.m. and I ended up watching 6 episodes, then going to sleep at 4 a.m. and not being able to sleep. And I was like, wow, that show energizes me. Like there's like the energy that came out of that show when I was watching it and I was not able to sleep. So I guess one thing I guess we all know about that, but that mental aspect of what we are watching also is valuable in terms of how we can nourish ourselves and really get energized. And the other thing is soul language. I do soul language. So I know that the power of the speech codes and how that can really have an impact on your whole being. So that aspect, I do with that every day for myself, a self-healing. And then I can get with my day by just doing light language to myself. So that's two.
Oh, yes. Thank you for sharing, Loic. Those are two powerful ways. I mean, yeah, to me, it's like there's no accident that they call it TV programming because we are literally programming our brain, ourselves to whatever we're watching. And when we have that alignment with that vibration, then there's a really like, it's an infinite well of of love and light energy, right? Like it's like when you're in that alignment, like you feel like you don't even need to sleep because you are nourished and you're energized from that vibrational resonance. And so I'm so happy that you found that show, Loic. Oh, you make me want to watch it. Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh, is he talking? I don't want to interrupt if he's.
Yeah, I was saying I would put the show on the chat if everyone wants to be interested in even seeing what it is about. That's very cool.
Yay!
I wanted to say there was something, the show thing reminded me, there was something interesting that happened when I was really anxious one time after, it was a class I was taking and I had to do like a presentation thing, and I got really anxious about it afterwards, like wondering how I did. And then I watched a show that was like a thriller, and it made me super, it was like one of those shows that makes you really anxious about what's going to happen. And I noticed that after I watched the show, my anxiety was gone. So I don't know how that worked, if it like made me feel my anxiety more, so then I got it out of me. I just thought that was interesting, so I wanted to bring it up and see if anyone had thoughts. It's like almost like resonating the show, if it resonates with what you're feeling at the time, maybe it
Well, I can chime in because I know that I write poetry, and there's the same thing when you find an emotion, it can just because the emotional intelligent part of your cognitive brain lights up. You acknowledge that emotion, and once you acknowledge it, it's like, when you're playing a note on a keyboard or anything, it's just like, God, that's anxiety. That's the anxiety playing in your body. And then you're observing. The other thing is that when you're watching a TV show about something anxious, right? And then it's like you're observing it in another projection right in front of you. And so then you become aware of the anxiety that you can feel, because you're like, oh, that's what it feels outside of me, and it's right next to the cognitive part of your brain where you're feeling it for yourself in a situation that you have. So wow. And the fact that you just said anxiety, I just dealt with anxiety with the person who's been keeping me up on. Okay, whatever. Love you guys.
That's really interesting. Thank you for explaining. That makes sense to me.
I wanted to add with that too, that a lot of times when we feel emotions, it is indicating something that is already been in us. So it's like everything that we experience is like happening like 99% in the vibrational realm before it happens physically. And so it's like with enough momentum, then it's expressed physically. So when we feel an emotion, it's like whatever, that anxiety or whatever, it's already been there, but now it's like, okay, it is becoming activated, right, physically. And so then once that expression, that indication is happening, then you're able to become aware of it. And with that awareness moment, then you're transmuting it and releasing it. So it's like, that's why to me, it's like, so, everyone's like, oh, like feel your emotions, you got to feel it to heal it. That feeling is feeling it, allowing yourself to feel it is the transmutation moment. So then you can release it and heal it. And so that totally makes sense why, that like a show, can be activating you, and then you end up feeling better after, because it's you shifting, like you're becoming aware, and then you're transmuting and feeling and releasing that energy.
That's so interesting.
And I also just wanted to say hi and welcome to my friend Carlos. This is his first circle session here. And Carlos, do you want to introduce yourself?
I think this is my first Zoom. I've somehow made it through the last year and some odd months not having to use this app or not having to sign up for it. I downloaded it for some reason, but I never used it. I'm still learning how to use the unmute button.
Well, welcome, Carlos. Welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Eric.
So we've just been talking about ways to nourish ourselves and, fill our cups, so to speak. So then, because especially as light workers, we need to fill our own cup and nourish ourselves so then we can help other people, because we all love helping and serving other people, but ourself is the most important person to serve, so then we can continue to do that. So yay, welcome Carlos to the convo.
And I guess in answer to that, I guess maybe to the topic, I like to treat myself as maybe like a little cup and just fill it with animal videos and cat videos and just shit that makes me laugh as much as possible, while maybe like an occasional outside disturbance might pop a little hole, I might be leaking out, but I'm stuffing with so many cat videos and so many raccoons stealing food from cats videos and so many, let's say, tractor doing a backflip when they were just trying to pick up a little tree videos, that I'm just so full of this good stuff that no matter what leaks out, I'm probably still full, if anything, overflowing.
Thank you so much for that cup analogy. And yes, I totally agree with all of the animal videos. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
So in the chat, Monish typed in, I do yoga nidra. Monish, do you want to talk a little bit about that? If you feel comfortable unmuting yourself. Or if other people want to chime in about yoga, how yoga has helped them.
Does it need to be yoga specifically?
No, I was just curious because Monish had typed in.
Okay, just to double check, because I'm actually sitting on a yoga mat, but I rarely do yoga. It's just comfy. So this last year-ish has been, let's say, a turbulent time for everyone. Something that's helped me kind of keep sane without, I kept going to my job. We just kind of transitioned from a regular dining restaurant into deliveries. So I still got an outside social interaction, which definitely helped comparing to some of my friends who got locked indoors with backgrounds on them. Let's say something else that did make a difference for me closer to that yoga point would be I started doing capoeira sometime around August of last year. And the added exercise, being outdoors, between the cardio and the resistance, it has definitely made a difference in my, the lack of anxiety that I feel. It's not like things have gotten a whole bunch easier, but I just don't feel as wound up as some of the people that have been around me in that time. I'm sure people that have been able to do yoga, whether it's at home or outside, maybe enjoying yoga by the lake or something, have been able to appreciate that same kind of benefit.
Oh, yes. Thank you for bringing up exercise and movement. Thank you, Carlos, for sharing. I feel like that is, we have all heard it, you know, like exercise is good for you, healthy, blah, blah, blah. And it's so true, because we are activating our physical bodies and especially any emotions that need to be released, any stagnant energies that need to be released. Physical movement is how we do that. And so, and again, it's like there's so much, there's like a bajillion different workouts and methods and yoga classes and everything out there, right? And so again, to me, I feel like it's all about finding that what is resonant with you and your personal body, because that is different for everyone. And like I love yoga, I love dancing, I love, like, me personally, like working out is like not really my thing. But I do see, you know, the importance of it, and it's like, if that works for you, that's awesome. But yeah, it's really that vibration, like that physical activity aspect. It's like you are activating every single cell. Yeah, especially cardio. It's like your heart is pumping that fresh, you know, energy, that fresh oxygen into every single cell. So then by the time you're done with your workout, you have a completely different energetic body than you do before. And it's like, no wonder we feel so good, because we just released all that we need to release.
It's definitely the feeling that whatever clicks with you gives you. So like you were saying, you know, whatever that thing is that that helps you align, whether it's capoeira, whether it's yoga, whether it's running, biking, jogging, mountain climbing, I don't know, dancing in a group of, you know, 700 people without masks, whatever it happens to be, as long as it gives you that thing where your mind shuts off and you feel free, or where you feel that, like that meditative spot. The same thing you kind of get with yoga. At some point, your mind kind of just stops wandering and it shuts off. And ideally, the same level of feeling you would get with meditation. Like I'll meditate most mornings right before my day starts. I'll put on a guided meditation and lay my ass right back down. Sorry for the language. And I might not be sleeping, but for those extra 20 minutes, I'm empowering my day as best as I can in the easiest way I can to just have the greatest day ever. Aim for the 11 out of 10. And then after that, everything is easy sailing. And that's not because necessarily I'm doing yoga, but I am getting a very similar effect in that my mind is clear and I'm leveling myself to exactly the level I want to the point where I want to be. This capoeira does the same thing for me in this way that maybe running used to, just not interested in running anymore. The fact that I have to use my feet is already an irritation. So at some point in the cardio, it's just very possible to get that runner's high where you're just not thinking anymore. Your body's doing its own thing and you're just focused on breathing and keeping up with your breathing. Because, you know, if you change the rhythm on your breathing, then something unfortunate is going to happen. Maybe you're just going to slow down. Maybe you're going to slow down enough to receive a kick to the face. Maybe it's going to be that you're just not keeping up with your friends on the bikes. But whatever it is, at some point, you just start thinking about your breathing. And much in the same way, when those few times I've done yoga, all you end up thinking about is your breathing. And I think that's powerful in itself. Whatever it is you're doing, it's helping you reach that alignment that you're looking for.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, breath is really, I mean, yeah, kind of, it's like goes back down to meditation and whatever. It's like really, it's literally what is keeping us alive. It's one of those few things that are both unconscious and conscious. Like at the same time, right? And it's like we can become aware of it and we can control it, we can guide it, we can lead it, but also it's happening without our awareness, which is like so nice. To me, it's like I'm so happy that I don't have to think about that all the time, because that would be like way too much on our brains to keep track of, right? So it's like if I had to, focus on that, and then I forgot, and then oops, I forgot breathing, and then oops, like I died, like that's, like thank God that doesn't happen, right? But also, yes, with that breathing, when we are activating that breath, we are able to, kind of boost that circulation of energy, of chi, of life force energy. And then, yes, it's easier for us to tune ourselves and to feel that activation. And so, oh yes, thank you so much for that. Has anyone here tried breath work? Like I think I know some of us have, because we've talked about it in the Telegram, but I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on breath work and your experience on that.
I love breath work. Last year, I was going through a tough time, like having a breakup at the beginning of the pandemic and everything. And one of the things I did to take care of myself, to like work through that, was doing breath work once a week, like kind of, I don't know what it would be considered, rebirthing or holotropic breath work. I did it on my own for about an hour once a week. And I felt like every time I did it, it got out more emotions that I didn't know were there. And I think it really helped move me along. Yeah, I think it's a great tool for seeing what's, getting things moving. Because I think maybe sometimes there could be some things under the surface that we're not quite in touch with, and breathwork can just bring that up to the surface to work through.
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. It's so, especially that like we aren't aware of so much that is inside of us. And so when we have those, moments, that safe space container, so to speak, then you're able to allow those things to come up, and again, like let yourself deal with it in a way, transmute it. And so, yes, I'm so happy that you were able to have that experience. Eric, you're muted.
Oops, bro, muted. Hi, sorry. No, that's good. See, I'm a little half awake, but now awake. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for the help. I need your support. All right, so thanks for sharing that, Michelle. Actually, when you just shared that, it's like so of course, some of you know me as a Qigong master, and I practiced martial arts for many years, and actually I've trained the week. I trained and I taught WISTY as well. And immediately once Michelle's talked about breath work, it just, the master brain, the teacher brain went off. And the two things that I do when I'm by myself doing breath work, which is very unique. I don't think I've ever shared this with anyone, but I do either animal noises or the tiger purring would be do that, tiger breathing, or crane calling, or oming, but then different types of om, like just the different ones, and just go deeper and more expansive with my lungs. And so you just become more like this opera singer. There's more like expansion happening within, and it's something that I play with, and it's something that I practice. That's like my self practice, and I don't teach it as much to students, because I think sometimes people either get lost or carried away, or think it's a little weird. Like if I were to
call out like a bird, all of a sudden it'd be a little strange to beginner breath work people. But I can, tell my Starseeds family I do that because we're already all aliens anyways, so it's cool. But thank you for sharing that, Michelle, because that just woke me up in terms of like, I'm awake now. There was someone else's energy on me earlier, but that's another story.
I'm glad you're awake.
Yeah, I'm more myself now, which is cool. Oh no, where's Kat? That's all right. She'll be back later. Must have had to go.
She's driving, but I think she'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm so glad you brought up sound, like voice activation, and Loic mentioned light language earlier. And yeah, to me, that is like, I can't believe I didn't bring that up sooner. So I'm so glad you did, because it's really so effective. Sound is so effective. Like, our voice is tuned to heal us, heal our bodies. And so when we activate that through chanting, through long tones, through oming, whatever, through light language, then again, it's kind of like we're tuning our energy body like an instrument, basically. Because like, okay, I don't know if you guys like play music or whatever, but I'm sure you've heard like a violin or a guitar or something like that, when it's out of tune, right? And then you gotta like turn the knob to get it into the correct tone or frequency, whatever it is, right? And so when we chant, when we are using our voice, when we are activating our voice, we are essentially doing that, turning the knob of our energy bodies. And so then we're able to, clear away or just tune up the energy centers, the chakras, anything that needs to be cleared. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's super, super effective. And this is why, for me, I incorporate sound healing into mostly everything that I do, because it's just so effective for me personally.
I think
I just lost. Can you hear me okay? My headphones just turned off.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
I really like also finding new music really energizes me sometimes, like finding a new song that really resonates with me at the time. It's like sometimes I'll find a song and I'm like, this is perfect for right now, and I'll listen to it on repeat and I just get like, makes me feel good. So that's another thing.
Yeah. Is there any other, how many people know Sanskrit? Or I think mantra means mind instrument. Yeah, Monish, is that correct? Mantra means mind instrument. Maybe there are probably multiple translations of it, but
yeah, I think there was like 3 things in that. In the Indian tradition, there was like mantra, tantra, and yantra. And so the mantra is something like affirmations, and I'm not sure if it is like the mind. What did you say again?
Instrument.
Instrument. I don't know. I've never heard of that. But I know one thing, that it's like mantra, yantra, and tantra are like 3 things that that's like they always work like without fail. Like you can do rituals and stuff, and you can worship deities and stuff, but like mantra is such a powerful thing that it will never fail you ever. So yeah, there's that. And then there's tantra and yantra, and A yantra means a machine, a device, and they had like these, like you know how they always do during witchcraft or stuff. They always draw those things on the ground, like pentagram and stuff.
Yeah, sigils.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so in India, in Indian like rituals, they have these yantras for different goddesses, but it's so like it's I find it so amazing because they call it yantra, and yantra is used in modern day also for machines, and
Oh,
they use that same word for those things that they draw for the goddesses. And then of course everybody knows tantra, so there's these three things: tantra, mantra, and yantra. Yeah, mantra will never fail you. Like there was this Indian actor, um, there's this does anybody know about the Gayatri mantra? No. So it's like the mantra of the sun: Om Bhur-bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunah Prachodayat. And basically what it means is, oh, divine one, you're praying to the sun to give me the power or activate my light codes. So it really, it's like, it's about what's happening like right now on earth, this ascension that we're going through. But the mantra is like really ancient, and that was another like surprise when it came. Om Bhur-bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. It has a long meaning, but I'm giving you the short one. The longer meaning is that this Om sound, which is in every planet all over the universe, because like the guy who found out, the yogi who found this mantra, was like meditating inside a cave or something, and he quietened his entire being so much that he could hear the humming sound of the universe and the humming of the earth. And he said, oh God, this is God. Because like, and that's the same thing perhaps in the Bible. Before, what's the line? Before God there was word, before what there was word, and then the word was God. I'm forgetting, but like, you know, like something like that. So that word is probably Om, that humming sound. So there was this actor, coming back to the actor, his name was Govinda. And what he did, like, he was born in a really like religious kind of home, and he had a really sweet mother, and she used to teach him all these rituals and stuff. So he did the Gayatri mantra like two 270,000 times or more, and suddenly his life life changed, and he became a really successful actor and gave a lot of hit movies and stuff. Yeah, I by the way do that mantra like 3 or 6 times daily. So yeah, mantra can never fail you. Anything else will fail you, but mantras will never fail you. That much I know.
Thank you, Monish. And the other thing is that I actually have heard that mantra before. It was saying probably, but I didn't know it precisely what it was. I've heard it before, but it's like I didn't know that it was that one. It was just like you're working in a yoga studio and you're just signing people in and whatever, but like it's playing in the background, and they're, it's in the class. But then that was, yeah, wow, that was really, I learned so much just from that. But I just wanted to add a little bit about Om. Om is one of the, well, if you make the sound, this is ma, right? But it's like one of the only sounds that you don't need to use your tongue for. It's just the you're just opening and closing the mouth. So you don't have to use your tongue at all for that sound. So it's kind of like you're in the cave, right? and the wind is blowing through the cave, Om, and that's your throat.
That's also like I think
That's your
that's
throat.
like yeah, and like I think it's a really interesting thing that when kids like little babies are born, the first thing they say is mom, 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 and it's like it's
Mom,
first thing.
yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, because you don't need to use your tongue. So it's like, it's so much easier than making any other sound because you just open and close the mouth. There's literally,
yeah, and like it's like they're coming from source directly, so that's like the first thing they're like instinctively saying, I think.
And I think Sadhguru also said like Amen, Atum. Yeah, it's just like all the holy words are just variations of Om. A lot of times, Amen.
Does anybody know any mantras in any other language or any other religion? Because I would really like to know that.
So I personally like the Heart Sutra and Heart Sutra and Kanzeon in Japanese. I like super resonate with that, and so I actually have I found a Buddhist monk like looper, like he's like a beatboxer, and like he uses like loop stuff and like makes chanting music with these Japanese Buddhist chants. And so his name, oh my gosh, it's like Yogetsu. I'll find it in a sec. But I super love like just listening to like those kind of like Japanese mantras for me personally, because I feel resonant with that. But yeah, I'm curious to hear about other people's thoughts on this too. And I'm gonna find a link for you guys in case you guys want to listen to what I'm listening to.
I have one that I like. That it's not a very ancient one or anything, but there's a group that I've been kind of involved with. They're the ones that taught the sitters school that I went through, and they do breath work for part of the training for their mindfulness training. And the mantra they use is bring awareness to my body, use my breath to surrender. So it's like a reminder to, like awareness is a huge part of healing, just becoming aware of something. And you can become aware of the feeling in your body and the emotions that come along with it, thoughts. And then by surrendering to it, it's like a way of releasing it. So they explain it better than I just did, but I like that. I try to remember that mantra, and I can also share it and share their explanation too if you guys are interested.
Yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, affirmations, like, I mean, obviously, yeah, like mantras. Affirmations are mantras, just, in whatever language that you personally, resonate with, speak. But yeah, I mean, I feel like especially nowadays, affirmation practice has become more mainstream, and it's really, I mean, affirmation is affirming, right? Affirming and declaring your frequency, your desire, your whatever that you want to ground yourself in. And so, I definitely feel like it's another powerful way to reprogram ourselves, especially as adults, right? Like when we're kids, it's the programming phase, right? So it's already naturally the brain is developing all these neural connections. But when we're older, those connections are already developed, right? But they're also flexible, they're adaptable, they're changeable, they're shiftable. But it takes a little bit more effort to, shift it and redirect it and reprogram it. And to me, this is why affirmations and mantras, chanting, all of that is so powerful, because that repetition aspect is how you are able to reconnect those neural links, make those new connections. So then, the programming is sticking, right? It's like if you just say one time, like I am loved, I am safe, just one time and nothing after that, then most likely you're not going to feel the effects of that and really feel the belief in that if that pattern is not practiced, right? But it's like after saying it over and 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 over again, then your body and your mind, it's like, okay, oh, this is the direction now. Oh, this is the direction now. And then you're more likely to be able to affirm and believe and embody that belief, that affirmation, whatever that is. Oh, yes. Thank you, Michelle, for putting it in the chat. I'll be saving the chat too. So.
Well, this is cool. Like, I was not expecting to go in mantra speak. Thank you, Monish, and thank you, everyone, because thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Whiskey. The other thing is that I forgot that even in my practice, there's I studied Shaolin martial arts, and that there's a lot of Zen embedded into that martial arts and that spiritual practice, and that you're supposed to be reciting mantra while you're practicing, but it's embedded in, so you don't know unless you've gone to a class. But it's like at the end of most of the forms, there's like a prayer to Kuan Yin, or the goddess of compassion, right? Or right, Avalos Kitsvara, but like it's Tongji Bai Gunyom, and then there. But it's like it means child is praying to the mercy, or the goddess of mercy, and that's that goddess is in like archetypal in many cultures, like either it's Virgin Mary or it's the mother. So it's just like child praise mother. It's just every single form ends with that, and then a lot of the forms, all of the moves are mantra, like is a mantra. Like there's a poetic line with each movement, which is really, really interesting. But most of the time, practitioners, it's not as paid attention to, because there's more of I think a lot of people study just for the physical benefits, and it's not until maybe later on, like back in the day, not only were these people with like bodyguards, but they were also monks. So like they had time, that was their job, that was their profession. They were also monks, so they worked in a temple. That's what they did, right? And so how do I multitask and study two things at the same time? Oh, I'm gonna put a mantra while I'm working out. Well, I don't know if that's badass or not. It's like I'm gonna study two things at the same time because I got a lot of work to do. Right? It's like, imagine if you're just like, oh, you're just doing a mantra and you're just like cooking food. It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? Like, say you're doing a mantra and you're painting. Like, isn't it awesome? If you think about like how awesome that is, because you're honoring yourself and you're doing your spiritual practice, but you're also honoring yourself in your individuality, right? And it's like, oh, you're playing music, but you're also, reciting a mantra, but now you're singing the mantra, right? And I know a lot of Indian artists do that, and bhakti is of course the you know, the expression of a lot of that too. But I just wanted to add what everybody else was adding. But isn't that cool? Like when you get to the next level, you start multitasking. It's like I'm honoring the self and I'm affirming, but now I'm putting flair on it because it's me. Right? Yeah. All right. I love you guys. I got out of my, I was very tired.
No, it's all good. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Like, I mean, yeah, I feel like this is, to me, why music is so powerful, just sounds in general, and you can encode it, embed it into all of these other things that you're doing, or like any time that you are using, putting on music, it's like you can utilize that time. And then also, it's like when you are put like pairing it with exercise or with cooking or with studying or whatever, you are also encoding whatever that action is, right? Whatever you're doing with those frequencies. So it's like, double the power, which I love. So, oh my gosh. So it's been over an hour and a half. So I do want to honor anyone, honor your time. And if you have to go, we can release the space. But also, if you have anything else to add or anything else that you want to share or talk about, I'm happy to stick around and chat about it.
I want to show appreciation for the little cattail that passed by Jasenia's screen earlier. Little, definitely added to my day. And I like the idea of, maybe I hadn't thought of it before, maybe it was something that kind of just happens naturally, but I do like considering consciously the idea of adding mantra, adding an affirmation, adding those thoughts actively to an action. I like the idea of embedding that mantra, whatever happens to be, into that motion, and then suddenly that motion is always having that mantra in it, just out of habit. You're not necessarily thinking about it anymore, but it's just hiding inside there, lurking with greatness.
Oh my God, this reminded me about EFT tapping. Do you guys know EFT tapping? So I totally encourage you guys to look into it. But it's basically kind of like what you just said, of you are like, you're reprogramming yourself by like, basically you're tapping, and so you're moving your body and you are tapping in these different affirmations, these different mantras and everything. And so I feel like it's a good another good method, a good tool to utilize, that kind of like, especially if you need reprogramming of a specific thing, specific issue. Like for me personally, like I've been working on like money mindset, abundance mindset. And so, it's just like I'm like literally like tapping it into my body. So highly encourage you all to look into that if you haven't, or if you're interested.
Is this open talk now? Are we still doing?
I mean, whatever else you want to share. Jasenia had to go, so but she says we send love and light, wishing you all a wonderful weekend. So I mean, if you have to go, want to go, I don't want to keep you here.
No. I just wanted
if there's anything else you want to share, you can share.
Well, because I know everyone. Well, I know a lot of people are very intuitive on this teams. So, and you know, a lot of them I know is in my circle, but of course. All right, so there's this. All right, so the reason why I was tired is because I was projecting and going on I don't know. I met I don't know if she's a light worker or not, but she's a highly intuitive person, and we met online, and then all of a sudden we're just projecting, and we're just like traveling and going on astral dates. But I don't know, like, because it's like, oh, it's COVID. Oh, well, you're psychic. Boom, like go on an astral date, right? And so I have her energy all over me, and that's why I'm tired. And then I was talking to my friend, and it's like, why do you sound like somebody else? I was like, oh. And I feel like someone's hugging me right now, and it's probably, can you guys feel that someone's hugging me? You can see, you two are laughing. This is why, like, is someone hugging me, like from behind, like, you got like the two starseeds that I know very, they're like, and Monish is giggling, so I mean.
Well, so, you know, it's interesting that you bring this up, because I just yesterday was listening to Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you guys know Abraham Hicks, but they were talking, so they like to do like question answer type, you know, discussions. And someone had asked, how can I protect myself from energy vampires and, you know, make sure that I'm like, my energy is mine, basically. And Abraham's answer was, if you are fully in alignment and grounded in your own energy, then there's, first of all, the well of infinite energy is infinite. Universal energy is infinite.
Right.
And also, like, it's really like, if you know, declare your sovereignty, you know, declare your own energy, your own frequency, then no other energy can affect you, can touch you, right? It's like, it's only you giving permission for that to happen. And so I don't want to like devalidate your experience in any way. Like, if you feel like it's happening, you know, it's like, you know, your experience, you create your own reality. And so, you know,
right. Well,
you can't get
it was just
wrong.
that we invited, you know, we invited each other to telepathically link up and project to each other. And so, and the other thing is that we've been going on, there's just been, I mean, I pretty much spent all last night. The reason why I'm tired is just we're texting back and forth. Like, I don't know, like two high school students go gaga on each other, right? And so, right, and see how you guys are all giggling, but it's like, because she's, you know, I don't know, she's Wiccan and also practices yoga. It's just that she has already highly developed abilities, and I'm Qigong master, so it's just like, okay, and let's just go. And then it's like, oh, we're just going on the astral, projecting and going on dates on some astral realm and just hanging out. And then it's just like, someone's hugging me, right? Like, and it's just like, and still hugging me because I invited it and it feels good. And it's like, and it also like, because I was walking around and I went to my favorite cafe, and everyone's like, hey, you're uppity right now, and you're all right, and like, he's like, your aura is really bright today. And I was like, huh. And I was like, is that and I was like, no, I invited someone else's energy, and it's good, it feels good. I just wanted, but like Monish giggled, and that's, I mean, so Monish and I talked about something similar, so that's why it's like, WISTY, what's up?
Well, okay. Well, what I invite you to ponder is, because to me, my interpretation of all of that is, it's you being activated by this other person. This light that your aura that you're radiating is yours. It's you being in alignment, right? You've been activated into your alignment, and you are, that's you feeling good. That's you radiating. It's not, so it's the other person, you allowed the other person to activate you, but it's not their energy. It's your energy. And so, and if you feel like it's another person's energy, then it's up to you to claim your sovereignty, to claim your frequency.
See, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's the other.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like, to me, it's you being activated, because they have their own energy, their own aura. You have your own energy, your own aura, your free will, and they can resonate something within you that is making you feel good, that is making you feel making you feel in alignment. But ultimately, it's you doing that work, right? Like, so for example, like for me, when I do Reiki, it's like distance Reiki, right? It's like I'm sending energy, but the receiver has to be the one to receive. It's their responsibility, right? And it's like, because again, consent is everything, right? It's like,
no, I was 100% like, bring it on, right? Because exactly, love, bring it on, right?
Exactly. And so it's like when you are, so it's like you're saying bring it on, it's you, but once it's in your field, it's your energy, and it's you. It's no longer there. Like, it's like once I send the Reiki energy, it's no longer me. Like, it's, and the thing is, it's not even like my personal energy.
Yeah,
like, I'm not drained because I'm just a channel.
You're the universe, right? It's just like you went boop, 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 in the universe and went wee, right? It's cool that I just made those sounds. It's probably alien sound, right? But what's interesting about it is because, it feels like someone's doing, like, hugging me like this and just going like and like, and right, and that, so it's very.
So to me, so it's like, okay, if you are feeling that is you allowing yourself to receive the support that you've been wanting for so long. You've been wanting. Is so overdue, and it's like now you're finally allowing yourself to feel that. And it's like, if you're physically feeling that, it's like, it's that frequency is so strong, right? And you're finally in a vibrational frequency where you're able to allow that to happen for you. It's like, I'm not like able to see it happening to you, right? Like, I mean, I'm also like, whatever. Like,
it's getting dialed. It's getting dialed exponentially, because it's just like, it's just like, I love you. You're so awesome, and I'm so intrigued by you. And it's like, okay. Oh, whoa, and then it's like, and I'm gonna send you stuff right now, and it's like, and then you just feel it, and then I was like, and you're like, and then the thing is, right before the call. You could tell I was super tired, right? But right before the call, like, I was on my like weekly call with my one of my buddies, and I was like half awake because I was spending up all night, typing up, goo goo gaga, sweet nothings back and forth, right? And I'm tired, and all of a sudden I just say heart chakra, like, not my words at all. Not my words at all. And my friend's like, are you all right? And it totally in not my voice either, like a feminine, like a female. And I was like, not me, like, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta call you back. It was like literally like, boom, like, and then I felt like all the tinglies and the, all the cool, it was like, my question is like, and you, like, you guys are giggling and some of you, but like those, and it's good giggles because that means it's all love. But it's like, is that, I know how you say it, is that like it's you reacting and resonating with that activation, right? But it's like, but like, if it's so, like, that energy was like so her, like, no, like the way, the style that it was done was like it echoed in my brain, and then while I was half awake, I like mumble something, and my friend, he's like, "Who's that?" Right? Then it's like, see, because WISTY, you just raised an eyebrow.
So, okay, well, especially when you're that half awake, half asleep state is theta. That is hypnosis brain state.
Ooh.
So, and this is why, you know, a lot of people say, like, do the meditations and affirmations before bed. Wait, was it, am I wrong? I thought it was theta.
Yeah, it's theta. Beta, I don't know, is something like even more when you go deeper into sleep. Theta is hypnosis, dream, and imagination. And alpha is like what? I'm really sorry to interrupt.
No. You gotta interrupt. We gotta figure out what's going on with no, it's kidding.
And then alpha is like the state in which you, like, if you meditate a lot, you come into alpha, and you gotta remain in alpha. And that's where the affirmations are happening. You gotta say, like, whatever mantras or affirmations you're saying, you have to say them very, very consciously. And if you practice a lot of meditation and a lot of, like, you remain in the alpha state a lot, and Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about this quite a bit. And like, you can't get nobody can program you, nobody can control you if you're alpha. So yeah. And Eric, yes. I wasn't laughing at the thing itself. It has actually happened to me. Yeah, I know both both of the things that both of you were saying, like the protecting of the energy by grounding. Eckhart Tolle talks about that. It happens through Yoga Nidra. Nobody can attack you, no energy vampires, no nothing. And the hugging thing has happened with me too. There was this girl and we were connecting, and we connected like on some astral plane, and I don't know, I'm not that sensitive perhaps, but she was, and she felt like she was constantly like feeling that I was hugging her. And then like one of those days, suddenly one day I felt like, oh my god, somebody's touching my heart. And you know, the other experience that I shared with you was,
well, the thing was that because I've been astral projecting more, and she's like, I want to try something, and then she just appeared in my room, and I was like, oh, hi. And then it's just like, and then it's just like, then we started playing, and it was just like, oh, okay. And then she like just goes, oh, let me have some, and then she just jumped into my body and goes, oh, look, here's your chakras. Hey, I'll fix this. And then it's like, and then it's just like, okay, and then like, you know, that stuff, and then like jumped out. How was that? And it was just like, oh, and then I was like, yeah, I got she like super jacked, like I got supercharged, and it was like, okay, there's chemistry, but like I got supercharged, and it was like, it was abnormal, and then it was like, oh, like it was uncharted territory in terms of mind-body stuff.
Right, because you were in a receptive place to be able to receive something new.
Yeah.
Because you were in vibrational resonance, right? And it's like, okay, she's activating me to this new frequency, right? Yeah. And then with that, it's like she felt, okay, now you're ready to receive more. Okay, now you're ready to receive more. Yeah. And there was
Kundalini next level. Oh my.
Right, and like, so again, like my interpretation is like you were, because you're in that vibrational resonance, right? You were giving that consent, that energetic consent.
Right. Let's go.
To be able to receive.
Right.
Right, because she could have done all that, and none of that, you know, of like what.
I could have blocked it. I could have blocked it. Right.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I guess all of this is to say, like, yes, she activated you, but ultimately all of that expression is yours. Like, it's like I could.
Well, because I asked the universe to activate me to do it, and then she's like, "Oh, I volunteer." Boom. Was that more like it? I think maybe that's more like it, right? Where it's like,
right. I mean, right. Like, yeah, she answered the call, right, in a way. Like, so because when we send out a desire, right, you are sending a vibrational frequency. Every time you think a thought, think a belief, you're sending that vibrational frequency, right, to the universe, and then the universe is reflecting that frequency back to you. And so it's like, okay, you, in that moment, right, there was that resonance, you had that openness to be able to receive new energy that you were asking to receive, right? You were asking for. So then, and then you were in that place to receive, and therefore you were able to have that experience. Right. But ultimately that experience is still you. Like, so I wanted to bring back that, that moment you were saying when you had, spoken some of her whatever. So it's like, to me, that's really just channeling. Like, in that moment you were channeling, and that it's like, if it didn't feel like you were in control, then
well, it was more like I was tired, and then it was just like that was the echoing of right.
So to me, it's like you were in that theta state, right? It's like you were still in that, like, half asleep, half awake, right? And so in that state, you were receptive mode. And so you were receiving, you were channeling her energy, because that was still strongly activated within you.
Right.
Because it was, fresh in your experience. So, it's like, so to me, it's like, in that moment, she's not taking over, or like, there's no,
no.
Like,
it's more like,
right.
It's more like I have the telephone is still connected with her, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to talk now, but the telephone's open, and then it goes, right. And then it goes, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, blah, 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 right. But like, on the telepathic realm, right. But it's like, right. Okay, I'm open now. So it's like, heart chakra, and then like, she's probably studying something, because she probably learned something when we were like astral traveling. So it was just like, but I got, I got super tired because I went all out, because I was like, come on, hit me, boom, right, boom. And then I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand more of the science now, because we're all convening.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, like, it's something to be good to be aware of, because ultimately, especially if you're like talking with someone else that is not her, it's like, you want to make sure that you close the one connection before you start another one, because that, to me, is when it can get a little messy, just energetically. And so this is where grounding and claiming your sovereignty and clearing the energy field is helpful, because then you're able to, okay, I'm gonna like close the connection of this, it's like, okay, when I'm talking on the phone with someone, like, let's say, I call Carlos, right? And it's like, oh, but okay, I have to call Eric now. I'm not, I'm gonna hang up my conversation with Carlos before I start another phone call with Eric. Like, unless it's, unless it's like a planned phone call, that's a different story. But you know what I mean?
It's well, I mean, I think because this is the first time happening, all the wires got tangled, right? And then I'm like, Eric's tired right now, because Eric exerted himself to astral projection, like next level astral projection. It's not just like, sometimes you just astral project and you just like, you're an observer and you're just phasing through the realm. But this is like, I'm touching something on the astral plane, and her body phases, and then we're like, hey, like patty cake, like this kind of stuff, right? Or right. And then so it's like, oh, next level, because I already cultivated the skill and remembered how to do it from past lives. So boom, I can do it now. Cool. But of course it makes me really tired because it's the first time doing it, right?
Yeah. So to me, like, it's like, okay, whenever we feel tired, this is our body's indication that we need grounding and we need nourishment. We need to clear that energy field before we get more wires tangled up.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, if you're tired, give yourself permission to rest. Okay, yeah, if I need to reschedule a call, I reschedule a call. Like, okay, actually, like, there was someone that was signed up for this call, and she messaged me saying, like, hey, I'm actually not going to make it because I'm not feeling well and I need to honor myself. And I was so thankful that she messaged me to do that, because that's like the whole point. Like to me, I was just laughing because the whole point of this talk is to honor ourselves. And for her, the best way to honor herself today was to unplug and to give herself the permission to do that, what she needs to do. And so it's like, if you're tired, it's your body saying, I need nourishment, I need replenishment, I need everything. And so it's like that is the exact moment when you do the grounding
you
work.
Notice how I was at the beginning of this talk, right? I was like, oh, I'm tired.
Right.
You guys knew. So I literally went, I'm gonna turn off. You saw my hair, and I literally turned off my video and just it turned off on me, and it's like, WISTY, I'm gonna lie down, right? And I was just like, good. And she's like, it's okay, lie down. Boom, and I lied down, right? And it was just like, it was the first time where I was like, oh, you know how I'm very like, I'm like, oh, I'm ready. And it's like, you know how I'm always just really excited to just be on with you guys every time. And it's like, and like, WISTY, you're the facilitator and you're the organizer and you're the administrator on the ship, and I'm, the presenter or the whatever, I just help, guide you guys, lead, help lead you guys. Is like, boom, I didn't lead today. I was like, I'm gonna sleep. Bye. I took a nap. I literally took a nappy nap during the meditation, guys. That was honor self, like 100%. Where I was like, I think other times I feel like I'm helping WISTY like hold the space, as in like, oh, like I think on the ship, if we were on the ship, like WISTY's like the administrator and like making sure like the things are, and I'm going, okay, this needs to go, and I'm like making sure like whatever the house plant is in the right place in the or something, like, oh yeah, the decoration should be here, and it's like, and the panel is there, right? I feel like that's what my starseed is doing, and WISTY's going like, and then like, and something like that, right? And then
I'm so glad that you were able to take that. I mean, to me, it's like, if you had to take that nap, like, that's, you're literally, your body was like asking, because that's another thing. Our body is always asking for what it needs. And like, this is why we have the impulses to eat and drink. And it's like, if we're feeling tired, our body's saying, I need sleep, I need rest, or like, I need exercise, or, whatever it is. And so I am a big believer in listening to our bodies, because like, honestly, it's because the cells of our body is also conscious, like literally. So like, literally everything is consciousness. And so you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. Each cell has a nucleus, which is like its own little brain, right? Receiving and doing all the things. And so all of the cells are communicating with each other to do their job, right? Whatever their job is. And so when our brains receive a message of, oh, I'm hungry, tired, need water, whatever, right? That's like our cells are asking, and that's us receiving. So it's like that cycle of asking and receiving is also happening at the cellular level,
Something
as well
also
as universal
crazy
level.
happening while this whole thing. So like we're texting, back and forth, and sweet nothings back and forth, and it's like I gotta go to the deli, and literally it's like I go to the deli, and then I come back, and then all these cats are meowing, and then one of the cats is literally waiting at my doorstep, looking at me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then until I get back, because I guess I don't know how long she was waiting for me to text her back, but it was just like, because it's like, what is he gonna say next, right? It's just back and forth, and then literally, like the cat's went, and I was like, oh, okay, and I literally was like, oh, that's you asking me like you're waiting for me, and then the cat goes, jumps away once I get to the door, and then I go, and of course I'm feline, right, Lyran, and so it's like boom, like, and then literally I like typing again, and then the cats start, like once I start like typing again, the cats start meowing again. And it's just like, are they all just like singing outside right now? This is ridiculous. This is not, I mean, it's like, it got to a point where it was like, okay, there's this, and I don't know what the it was like Taurus moon. And it was just like, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like the bull. It was just like, I don't know, it was just, whatever. There's just a lot of things going on. I just wanted to share that with you.
Vibrational resonance.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad, Monish, you felt something similar where it's like you're just accepting like a hug, like from I don't, whether it's like an angel hugging you or an ancestor hugging you or like somebody hugging you. They're just like hug, and you're like, huh. Right?
That was like that was a whole different thing. Like the hugging thing happened with some I don't know. Like I called in the entire universe. Like one day, like I was having dinner and I was alone, and there was this table, and I'm having dinner, and suddenly I realized like I always like close off to people. I have this barrier. Like we all do, like we don't let everybody into our little space, right? So like after my awakening, I was like letting some people come in. Okay, you can come in. Okay, you can come in. Okay, I'm open. Like having like when we get the first awakening, you know how it's like. Suddenly you get like, oh, something good's happening, but then there was still some space that I was like keeping to myself, and I was not letting anybody come in. But that day I suddenly realized that, oh, I didn't let the universe come into my heart. And then the universe kind of said to me, why didn't you let me into your heart? What's the problem with me? Like you can hold everybody outside, but why are you not letting me in? So I said, okay.
Yeah.
And suddenly,
Yeah.
there was this silence, and I said, "Okay, universe, I open my heart to you." And like all of a sudden, I felt like something was going to happen. Like there was this kind of like you could sense like something was going to happen. So then I start eating my food, and then there's suddenly like something sitting on my lap. You feel the weight of something sitting on my lap, like somebody sitting there and hugging me. And so I was so afraid that I kept eating my food. Because I was like, I thought I don't want to look at my feet, at my thighs, because like there was something on my thighs, and I was like just assuming, oh, it must be the table. The table is touching my thighs. I don't want to look at it. But then I gathered some courage and I looked, and the table was not touching my thighs. There was nothing, but I could feel the weight of somebody sitting on me. So then it grew more intense later on, and then it started to take a form of a divine kind of woman, like goddess Kali and stuff. And oh man, a lot of things happened after that, and that like triggered some changes in me. She came, I actually saw her coming inside my heart, and then a lot of situations in my life changed after that. So that was something, some astral entity coming in. And the other one, the real Starseed girl that I connected with, that one was like, that was more of a negative kind of experience where we didn't know how to open our hearts properly, and we were connecting, and later on we were like having the same issues like you're having right now. Like I was feeling like I got some of her dense energy, and I felt like, oh, what am I feel like I feel some kind of disgust, and even she felt like puking or something. So, like we had some dense energies.
Yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're saying, because when we went on the astral date, I think 2 nights. Okay, so first astral date, hot, right? Hot astral date. It was cool. Never been on a psychic date before. Pretty cool, right? If you ever reach that level. Okay, first psychic date, hot. Day number 2, it's like, okay, maybe the honeymoon's over, like time to like, then you get closer, because I think it's all like the root chakra and the lower 3 first, and then we get into the heart space. Now the heart space, that's where all the emotions and the trauma and and then it's like, so then we hugged each other and astrally again, and then it's like, oh, it's like, who, I don't know who that was, but who, like, and then it was like, oh, and it was just like, I empathically felt, and she didn't have to tell me her past relationships, but then she was like, we're still hugging each other, and it was just like, oh. But remember when I was sharing with you guys, pain and love are twins or something, where it's like, it's the shadow. So I was hugging the shadow, and it's like, you gotta hug, if you wanna, love someone, you hug their scars too, right? Right. And so it was that healing going on, but it was like, oh, no, okay, but this is how it, and then you go beyond that, and you're like, oh, well, that took a lot of energy out of me to do that, I receive like you and your pains and your struggles, and you receive me for my pains and my struggles, right?
So wait. So this, if you're feeling depleted,
no, like, not depleted, but more like it was like it was a challenge, and to see if I was not depleted, because I, like, afterwards I napped, and then it was like I understood, and like I wasn't drained. Like I knew the difference between being drained by a lower dimensional being and being like, oh, she has scars, right?
Right.
And
so yeah,
right.
I feel like there's a difference between holding space for that healing to happen and taking it on. And this, right, to me, is where that energetic protection is so important. That grounding.
Right, and so immediately after the.
I'm sorry. Can you, like, when you hold space, can you heal their wounds, or just your own?
So yeah. So when you are holding space for someone, so kind of back to the very, I don't know if Monish, you were in the room when I was talking about this, but so Jesus was known to heal other people just with their presence and his energy, his presence and energy. And that is him holding space and focusing so hard, so clearly on the healing of the well-being of the person, because he knew that they are energetically, they are well, they are part of the one consciousness, right? They're part of the divine love, right? So when a sick person comes, he's not focusing on the sickness. He's focusing and holding space and shining all of his energy on the well-being of that person. And when he is doing that, there's infinite love. He's connected to that infinite love. that universal energy. And so there is no depletion. There is no sense of weight or density, because he is activated in his light body, and he is then able to, it's like his holding space and shining that light was so strong that in the presence of Jesus, the sickness just cannot be, because there is no resonance. So that person was able to vibrationally shift into well-being, because Jesus was holding that vibration so strongly. And so to me, when it's like you're holding space for healing for someone, or it's like, that's, as a healer, that's what I try to do, is to shine and anchor myself in that frequency of well-being, not seeing the illness or the sickness or the dis-ease of the person, because the moment you put attention on that, you are amplifying the vibration of that. And it's like,
Right.
I don't want to include that into my vibrational cake that I'm baking, right? It's like, when I'm baking a cake, I'm not putting in ingredients that I don't want. I'm only putting in ingredients that I do want. And so it's like, so it's like, okay, if I'm holding space, right? It's like, if I'm, when I'm holding space, when I'm doing a healing session with someone, when I'm talking to someone, I'm always doing my best to stay focused on the well-being of that person, and trust that, okay, when they are able to, resonate, and when they are able to release that resistance, then they will receive. And again, it takes some time, because you can't get from, a train going 80 miles an hour that way, all of a sudden to going this way, right? Like, at first has to slow down and then come to a stop, and then slowly make your way to that other way. And so that is where all of the permission slips come in, right? All of the practices, right? Doing the yoga, doing the chanting, doing all of those actions, right? Those are permission slips that are energetically helping you slow the train down and get the train to where you want to go. And when you're doing, and that can be for yourself, or that could be for other people. So that's my take.
So
It was interesting because I felt like it was also a different alignment than the second day. So it was not Taurus, it was Gemini. So it was like a cooler energy. The first one, it was like fire. And because I'm fire, it was just like the astral bodies were just very fiery. But the second night was like, it was Gemini. And I don't know how else to describe it. There was like, I could see I could actually feel like there were like cuts in her heart chakra. I could see like there were cuts, and I could feel it. There was like cuts there, and I was like, I'm gonna hug you, but it's like I know you have cut, and it's like I have too. So you see, and then it's like that was the sharing. But it was like the astral bodies were doing that. We weren't doing, like, the human, right? The astral bodies, the higher dimensional bodies were like talking to each other and said, see, I have cuts here, here, here. And it's like, oh, I have cuts here, 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 right? And that was interesting. And it wasn't that like, oh, I'm going to heal you and do the thing and hug. It's just like they were doing this to each other, right? So like the lower chakras, they talked to each other during the first night, and then there was an energy loop. And so I got supercharged after the first day, because there was this nonstop energy loop from the lower three chakras, which was like, okay, that's Kundalini, boom, boom, boom. And then she was like super excited too, and she was really happy at work that day. Second night, it was like, all right, what's gonna happen? And then it was like, so the next chakra is like solar plexus, right? And then it's heart. Wait, is solar plexus? Well, no, solar plexus, then heart, and then throat, then third eye, then crown, right? And so when we got to the heart chakra, of course, we were like, the heart chakras were talking to each other, right? Like mine, and it was just like, and I felt like the cuts, there were like cuts that other, things that happened. And then the thing is I could feel them. And then I felt the energy in the room, my room went down. And so I immediately grabbed sage and just started like saging my room, right? And then it was like lifted the vibration again. And I was like, okay, there's stuff there. And then that was an interesting experience. And then, of course, last night we didn't project, we just texted, and I texted someone for like 7 hours last night. Whatever. Feel like a little boy again. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be able to express our inner child self. Like, I feel like actually I'm surprised the inner child didn't come up in this conversation any sooner, because I feel like honoring that inner child self is such an important aspect of like being ourselves, right? Because that inner child self is always a part of us. And as we grow up, it's like we're adding layers to an infinite onion. But that initial child self is always there. And so, so I feel like play is a great way to honor ourselves and to, replenish our energy and get back into alignment. And however, again, it's like however that manifests, however that is embodied by you is up to you. And only it's really your emotion, right? It's like if you're feeling good doing it, then that's vibrational resonance, and that's going to be different for everyone.
I think I was more exhausted of what I was actually doing. I opened a portal in my room to her, only to her part of the universe, right? There's a portal that opened. I lit candles, and so the portal opened. So what I was actually doing, that was what was draining me. Like we were like, there was the astral bodies were touching each other instead of like observing or traveling and being incorporeal and phasing through stuff. Like there was actually like force. What I mean by force is like the force, like the ability to levitate things, and that was what was draining me physically. Not the actual, like not the, because if we did the incorporeal version, then it would just be like we'd face through each other and be like, yeah, that's cool. But like actual, like, yeah. Do you get what I mean? Where it's like another dimension?
I do. Right. I hear you. But so somehow in your experience, you have a belief that it is taking energy away. And it does not, like, it's only that you are creating that experience because you are giving that, like, you're giving permission for that to happen, and therefore that is the way that you are receiving it. Because it doesn't have to drain you. It doesn't, like, there is no, like, your energy is yours. And if you are experiencing that is you letting that energy seep out. It's like, okay, when Carlos had that cup, that cup example, he was like, oh, even if there's a hole poked, right? It's like, that is you poking the hole and letting the energy flow out. But it's like, you don't have to. And so to me, it's like, I invite you to see where or how you can vibrationally shift that thought pattern or that belief that is draining you, because it doesn't have to, and it's not. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and again, it's like,
you know what? It's more like it's like I'm forcing. Okay, it's more like I'm not relaxing enough. What I mean by that is, it's like, you're so tense. Like, even my astral body is tensing. That's what it is. To like,
it's
you know, it's like
unnecessary energy. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't need to do that. But yeah, so okay, I'm so glad that you noticed. It's like, okay, you have that awareness, so then you can.
And the reason why I'm saying I need to talk about it. Yeah. The reason why I need to talk about it right now, because Loic, remember when we skydived and the instructor, right? So Loic was the guy skydiving with me. Remember when the instructor's like, why is your body so tense? Rusa. Remember that? Right. My body was tense, but like my mind was like relaxed, but my body was tense. And right. It was like, it was the same thing, whereas it's the fight or flight response thing, because never done it before. It's the fight or flight response in the nervous system, never done it before. So it's like, and so never added force to the astral body before. What I mean by actual, the force is in like, yeah. So that's why my body tensed up. No, I'm glad we're having the science talk now. I love you guys. You guys are the best. See, WISTY, you see? I was like, it's not draining you, I'm draining me.
This applies to literally everything that you think is happening to you is you have created it. You are in vibrational resonance with that thing, whatever it is, and that is why it is showing up in your experience. And this is why, like, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you create your own reality. Like, you create your own reality through everything, not only to a certain extent. It is the whole thing. And this is why it's like and to me, I believe nothing is an accident, because if it's showing up, then there's something in my vibration that called that in. There's something in that vibration, in my vibration, that is reflecting. It's like, as above, so below, right? Yeah. As within, so without. And so that's happening whether you're conscious of it or not.
You know, and so it's so interesting because it's like a baby. Like, you know how babies, when they try to when they try to sit up, or like they go, they like try it really, like I was doing that. I was like, but it was with astral, adding force to my astral body so that I could touch another astral body and we could have, yeah. So it was like, that was interesting because it's in pretty much everything I do, and especially when I was going through the skydive, because it's like, okay, risking my life, jumping out of a plane. What's my body doing? My body was thinking literally like an ape. And then I literally had to go into my brain, hack it, and say, I'm a bird. 100% trust this guy behind me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then Loic's like, I can't believe we're doing this. It was interesting because it's like Loic has a different response to it, and then I think that's why we're friends, and we've been friends in past lives too. But it was like Loic is like very precise, but I had the jump instructor was like, yo, Eric, you got like a death grip on your harness, you got a wusa, like I literally had the same experience on like, thank you, WISTY, because it was like I learned, because like when you're doing this stuff, there is is that the reptilian brain where it's like you gotta tense up, or it's like it's gonna get you, or it's like it's gonna like I forget what it was, but it's like, you know, it's like the child that's like I'm trying to sit up and you're like like that kind of shit.
It's literally a coping mechanism, and I mean this is because yes,
but it's like deep. It's deep.
Yeah, and this is the work. This is the work of being aware and reprogramming, because like, I mean, when we were in, you know, like a long time ago, yeah, like we needed those indications because we didn't want to be eaten by cheetahs or by whatever,
Well,
animals.
like even the baby when it like when it gets birthed, right, and it gasps for breath and it coughs, like right, like that thing. It's that thing, but like it's still there when I'm trying to astral project in high five.
Right.
You know, or,
and this,
right?
Yeah. So this is why, like, the more that you can be aware of yourself, and the more that you reprogram, and the more that you ground yourself, like, it's like, the more that you ground yourself, then you're able to kind of like work your way up the chakras, right? And feel like, be able to kind of protect yourself already energetically. So then by the time you're opening up your heart and your third eye and whatever, you're only inviting energies that you want into your experience, and you're not tangling the wires, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's like, okay, I added force to my astral body to touch another astral body. Never did that before. I'm tired. It's good.
It's like, again, like, and this is the thing why. Oh, go ahead, Monish.
So like this was like in a book that I was reading by Tobias Lars. He's like a shaman from Sedona, and he mentions like we have been like reptilians and snakes. No, not really the evil reptilians that we always talk about, but like the snake like reptilian form is like it's very primal, and it's like it's made from sacred geometry, because if you look at the snakes and reptiles and all, they're like they have like diamonds and those kinds of shapes on their scales, right? So
right.
So like it comes from sacred geometry all over the universe. So I think there might be snakes and stuff on other planets too. But so this book mentions like we have been reptilian spirits in our past who love reptilian spirits, like this body, this shape of being a reptilian. And I don't know what that means, but it made sense to me. And if you're having reactions like that, like a snake kind of reactions and these reptilian brain reactions in your spirit body, in your astral body, probably that's
well, I mean, I have a dragon lineage in my...
Me too.
Right, so I have a dragon lineage. Well, and I'm Chinese, so I have a dragon lineage, and the other thing is that, I don't know, the Soren... There's native Terran reptilians, they're called Sorens, and they evolved from the dinosaurs, and they're intelligent. They live in Hollow Earth, but like the ones that die, sometimes they incarnate into humans, because you know, it's an easy way to like, oh, body, all right, jump in there, let's have this experience as a human. But like the other thing is, I think it's more of just the response of whenever I'm trying something new, I'm, you know, Aries Ram headbutt my way through stuff. And so tense. Yeah. Like Loic was like, I don't know. He was on the plane with me. Like I was focused, I was like ninja focused, but like martial artist focused, but like death grip focused and not bird focused. Even though I do bird martial arts, I was like, and then literally Wusa, I had to think like a bird because I'm going to be gliding out of the plane like a bird. But man, see, now I feel like I got to do more yin stuff now and soft.
So the one thing that I think that like, if you look at their natures in reptilians, like, like, so they're like shaped like diamonds and stuff, right? Like the scales are like diamonds and all these sacred geometrical shapes. And then you look how they evolved into birds, and birds look like reptiles, and then they evolved more and they became us, I think. And we have scales too, but like they're more fine kind of scales.
yeah, skin cells.
So like it's not just the way we are like formed, it's also how we behave. Like we're more confused. Oh, I'm in this formal meeting but I'm like nervous, but I'm not supposed to feel like that. So we're not true to our feelings in certain situations. Like we have grown kind of fine in our scales, but that's also how we behave. But if you look at like reptile, it knows exactly how to behave. So if it's like this and this is the shape in the pentagon,
And they're gonna be like, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, the sun's out, I'm gonna lie in the sun, because that's what they're like. Oh
they
yeah,
love
like
to do that.
like right, they're
love
just gonna
to do that.
And it's like, I was in Galapagos, iguanas like, I'm gonna eat some seaweed right now. They're like, I'm like, or like turtles, the sea turtles, they were eating the sea they're like, I'm gonna eat on seaweed right now, and that's what I'm gonna eat that fish. And I'm
That's
gonna go,
them replenishing. That's them replenishing. So then they have the energy for when they need to attack. You know, when they need to do whatever they have all.
when they need to climb a tree, right? They're like,
right,
boom.
Exactly.
I'm like, yo, I'm gonna chill on this. I'm gonna chill on this, right? But like, but I think are humans so confused because like, you know, like I was confused when I was jumping out of the plane because I was like, like I'm gonna make sure this harness stays, because he was like, grab the harness, and I was like, because I was death gripping it, like I was squeezing the guy that's like, this is my, and he was like, yo, well, because you know, and then he's like, no, you just put your hands on the harness.
The fear. Yeah, that's the fear seeping out, and so but that's the thing.
It's
like the
it's
more
in the
that
physical
we
body. It's only in the physical body, but
right.
in the mental body, it was like emotional body. It was clear. Heart chakra was clear. Focus. He was very like. I think all the other people were saying. He was talking to is it Trish, who had the same instructor, because we had 2 jumps, and it was like the guy before you. He was really tense, but incredibly focused, right? And so it was just like, I had this, my body tenses up, but it's because like I trained so much earth element that I'm like, I have this armor, like metal, like, and we do like the Vajra. So Shaolin monks also channel Vajra. So it's like, so we can like, you know, sustain hits and chop, you know, break stones with our hands, and so we can sustain it, but that's armor, right? But like that doesn't help you when you're soaring through the air.
And it's so, yeah, I mean, you're so grounded in yang energy, so yeah, the yin energy is the work for you, because yin is surrendering, releasing the grip, right? It's the tai chi, right? It's the allowing them to pass by, right, and to flow with the energy,
or
yielding
absorb,
for the energy,
right?
Exactly. So then you can, like, it's like,
well, and this is what this woman is teaching me, right? And whether it's through love or whether it's through, or just being around, having communications, but then it's like heart chakra, talk to the, no. It's like, and then, but it's also like, you think like, sometimes it's just like surrendering and not actually, you know, like right, men have to actually sometimes, like, is there a no, it's deep and programmed into our brain. In the past, men would be warriors protecting a tribe, right? And so it's like, oh, I have to protect you. Oh, I have to take care of you. Oh, I have to hunt right now. Like that is
right,
so
that flight or flight.
But that is in there. And then when the heart chakras were talking, remember when I was like, oh, it was like there was this need to like, oh, I'm gonna make you feel better. Nope, just talk, right? And it's like, because it's like, it's very hard for the programming, it's like genetic program, it's like ancestral memory program, where it's like, oh, I have to do this, but you don't have to do this, because it's like we're in astral realm, right? You just have to observe.
So like it comes down even when you're connecting with from heart to heart talk, even there the programming comes in and you're saying, oh, let me make you feel better, but then she says, no, let's talk.
It's like, I'm gonna be the man, and then she's like, No, right. And it was like, no, that's not how you be the man. Like
exactly, you gotta
right?
yin in. You gotta yin in so you can yang out. And that's really the whole, like my whole message with this whole, honoring the self thing. It's like you have to yin in and receive and nourish so then you can yang out and share and radiate and vibrate and all of that. So, and that's the eternal cycle, of
Right.
the
Well,
yin and yang thing.
Well, because it was like we were able to like the lower chakras, we were able to like do the yin yang symbol where it goes wee, 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 like it swirls in. But then the the heart chakra, we're like, oh, this is messy. Oh, like like human life in the dawn of the information age in America is very traumatic. We have to just like just talk a little bit.
Well, yeah, and it's also like the lower chakra work. Like to me, all of this is lower chakra work, and like because that physical level, it's root chakra. That's the root chakra,
Right.
And no matter how open your heart is and how open your third eye is and your crown is and whatever, if you're not grounded and like, integrated all of that back into the lower chakras, right? Then yeah, you're going to get yourself into a little energetically tangled mess. And
right.
Like,
and so it got into
yeah, like to me, this is like, when psychic attacks happen or whatever, it's like, it's really us not integrating back and grounding ourselves with the lower chakras. So then we can protect ourselves when we are opening ourselves up energetically. So this is why, to me, it's like, okay,
like, we made it to number 3. We made it to number 3. And then once we got to the heart chakra, we're like, oh, like, whoa, this was fun. This is up. And then it's like, and what's interesting is like let's see. Oh, well, no. Okay. The third eyes, we couldn't see each other's astral body yet. So third eyes wasn't open, and throat chakra. No, because we weren't like saying like, all kinds of, all kinds of other language, but yeah, it just made it through the first 3, but that's better than like none. And the other thing is that like I was surprised, even with the first 3 activated and swirling yin and yang, going like boom boom, like that the effects of that, I was like jacked up in the morning because I was like, holy moly, what Kunda, like, okay, yeah. So, but it was cool that I get to have, I had to have a astronaut partner where we just go, wee, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Well, right? And now with this experience, right now, like now you have this, and you have
now I have a foundation, right?
And so next time, it'll be easier for you to be aware of your energy and how you are, opening yourself up and everything. So then, like next time, maybe you won't be so tired, or you'll be able to know, okay, these are the boundaries, or this is how I need to honor myself for next time. So yay, I'm so happy that you were able to experience this, and thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'd only share it with y'all because y'all are close. I feel strange. That's the other reason why the space is so cool. I mean, we have so many Telegram. Monish and I had some really deep conversations. Like, I realized how much in common we have. It's ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. Like very much in common. Like, also, I saw into the future that I'm gonna visit you in India. I don't know when, but I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna visit you in India. I mean, I just saw it. Like, I was like, I'm like, that is literally after all of the astral projection. I woke up this morning, I was brushing my teeth. I'm gonna go visit Monish in India. I don't know when, but I am. And because they were like, and then you're gonna show me around. I don't know where.
But ever, man. Most
and then,
awesome thing ever.
But the other thing, right? The other thing was like, it's just like, I think we were talking about well, this was also, I guess this was the next level of the, okay, so the Pleiadian shadow work mission, like, it's like, this is the partner work section, where the first one was like, the first part was like, okay, just deal with your shit and get the surgery and get all the messy stuff out, right? And it's like, clear yourself, like, prepare yourself, prep, and then it's like, okay, partner time. You're like, oh, okay, who's my partner? And it's like, okay, gotta find it. And it's like, no, not you. And it's like, me. Okay. And then it's I don't know, it's really interesting, this process. And I think it's the whole mission is, well, their mission is, but this specific mission is like healing the rift between the masculine and the feminine, because there is a very deep, probably thousands of year old, like hundreds of thousands of year old, we don't even know, because it's like probably even before written history, right, of the rift between the masculine and the feminine. And right, and I think when you have certain superpowers and civilizations and wars, you have certain cultures that worship, not, it was matriarchal societies, you had more diverse societal structures that allowed more expression to happen. But then eventually certain powers won in this timeline, this specific timeline. Maybe on other timelines we have a different situation, but on this specific timeline, that's the thing. So on this one, this specific mission is the relationship between the masculine and the feminine. Of course, the Pleiadians, they focus on sacred sexuality, relationships, and also, but not just that, like women, children, and then the other thing is that development of psychic abilities. What I mean by psychic evolution. So it's like, yeah, it's more like, that's they're like psychic education teachers, and I think that's why in a lot of mythologies you see them as elves and stuff. They're depicted as elves, right?
I've actually been like, after you talked about the psychic surgery thing, I've actually been trying to contact the Pleiadians myself and asking them, do I need a psychic surgery myself or what? And I've been trying, and then I didn't actually receive any messages yet, but like from time to time, sometimes like I talk to Jasenia and she has something that solves my problem. So I think maybe
Jasenia is, because Jasenia is connected to the Pleiadians, but they're medical. In the Federation, they're medical. Most of them are medical professionals in the Federation.
Yeah, I saw the link that you shared. There was the channel that you shared.
LightQuest channel. I mean, it's like when you I don't know. The reason why I was able to contact them is because Karis is, I don't know how much percentage, she's related to a 3D Pleiadian. And so that's why Karis Melinda Brown, she's a Reiki master in Los Angeles, originally from Virginia, but it's interesting is that you see her and she's a black woman and she has blue eyes, and then she has this kind of very interesting looking complexion. She has many different ethnicities. She's very Hapa, like you just like, what are you like? And then you talk to her, and then she has all these different skills, and then you're like, the way that she talks is kind of like this kind of elven princess kind of, and you're like, huh? Like, what is going on here? And then immediately, boom, it's either her or someone else who activates me in my lifetimes. So because she was one of the priestesses of the Temple of Isis, that when I was incarnated in Egypt, she was my boss. Anyways.
So I just wanted to point out that, you know, these different channels and like people that, you know, again, like it seems like, you know, Eric was asking for, you know, some assistants and activators, right? And so these are the people that ended up resonating with him and was able to help him. But like, it's like,
you have to
like,
find
again,
it's your personal journey, right?
Exactly,
it's not just like you don't go to this person. It's like, for me, that's how I found it, and for you it will be different. The Pleiadian will just, like, maybe the ship comes by your house and they like, it's completely different. And the other thing is that if you want to channel, it's different for everyone to channel that.
And also, it's like, it might not even be Pleiadians who are the ones to help you. Like, again, like, this is Eric's process, you know, but it's like, if, like, I feel like sometimes, you know, we get excited when we see someone like, oh, like, I should be doing it like them. Or a lot of times, a lot of people preach, right? Like, oh, you need to be doing it this way to get this, you know, activation or opening or whatever, right? But that was their particular way of doing it, right? And maybe your way is a different way. Like, maybe, you know, like,
right.
The thing is, if you are saying like, okay, like, Pleiadians, like, please come and activate me, whatever, right? And you're like trying and you're pushing, right? Then you end up putting in resistance energy, resistance vibration, and then they are like, you are continually activating that resistance, and then that keeps you where you are, right? Because you're at that like trying place, which is actually the lack of the thing that you want. You're vibrating the lack of the thing that you want, even if you think that you're vibrating the thing that you want, right? And so it's like, okay, let me just get to that point of, like, you know, whatever permission slip that you personally need to receive. And I invite you to be more open to, like, then, you know, it's like, okay, just whoever is available, whoever is meant to, or whatever, you know, maybe not even whoever, just whatever vibration that I need right now, I'm open to receiving, you know. Then it's like, okay, maybe there's a totally different energy or totally different, you know, something that you would have never even thought of, right? But it's like, once you're opening up to receive, then all of that can flow through. And this is, to me, like so cool to feel that.
Open to all possibilities, right?
Yeah, exactly, you need to expand the possibilities. And the other thing I'm going to add to that is not, I wasn't looking for the Pleiadians. It actually showed up in my automatic writing. I wasn't looking for the Pleiadians. So I was doing the poetry. I was writing the poetry. The stuff would just come out, and then I just automatic writing, and then accessing the Akashic records. So like, I go into the library of my past lives, and then it's like, oh, this. And then immediately it's like, I'm on YouTube, and immediately I see the sign shows up, and then Karis's channel, I'm watching it, and then she's doing tarot readings. I was like, who is this? And I'm learning tarot right now. And so it's like, that was the connection, gotta find her. So there's gonna be something similar that happens to you, but it's not my formula. What it is that you're gonna be doing like whatever you're doing, and then the signs will just, in your imagination, right? You're like, in your vision, it's just like the signs are just gonna pop up in the universe. And it's like, go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way. And it's like, right?
And you know who's guiding that is your emotions, your inner being. Like, your inner being,
it's this yourself.
Saying, go this way. With something that feels good, like an impulse to do something that feels good. It might be random, but that is the indicator, right? That is the thing that is guiding you to the thing that you actually want.
Because it's not. Yeah, I mean, like, my guides help me, but it's like, you need to talk to your guides. And I'm glad Monish and I had the conversations that we did, because we actually have a similar background. It's like, we both dealt with bullying. We both dealt with similar types of abuse and similar relationship problems, very similar. And we both deal with it in a similar ways, and we write poetry and we write really there's it. So Monish, I would encourage you to journal, and the signs will show up in your automatic writing, because I know when you shared with me, your brain just bled out and spilled for me. So like that, keep doing that. Certain words will show up, and then when you're doing other activities and research, like the sign will just like this, the guides will just like give you a like a point, go this way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's really like, again, yeah, I feel like that automatic writing is another permission slip, right? Another tool to get you into that receptive mode, because when you're in that receptive mode, that receiving mode, that is when you're able to, yes, get all of the little puzzle pieces, right, that you need to continue on your journey. And that, again, is going to be, different for everyone. And I love that automatic writing practice, because it just makes it so clear, like you're writing, and then you're able to like physically see it with your eyes, all of the messages and little puzzle pieces that you receive. So thank you for bringing that up, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, the Pleiadians are good, and they're really helpful for me, but like Wisty said, it's like everybody's formula is a little different, and this is why we're talking about honoring the self, right? Especially today, because what actually works for me is probably a different formula for you altogether, because I have a specific elemental frequency and also specific. Monish, have you been able to contact what intergalactic species that you're more in contact with? Like, for example, when I had my awakening, like this fiery lion headed, humanoid figure like showed up, and he was like sleeping on a desk, and then like Karis's body, like astral or higher dimensional body, like tapped him, knocked on the door, and it's like, someone is here to see you. It was like, who? I was like, Eric. Who's it? Oh, and then I saw like his whole platform, and there's a bunch of me's on different timelines, which Eric, but he's like sleeping on the desk because he's like working his butt off. But it was like this lion-headed thing, and he was on the desk in the spaceship, and that was like, huh? And then and then he first said, oh, hi, and then like didn't really say anything after that, and then it took like 3 times to finally be like, no, he really wants to talk to you. And it was like, and then finally that, and then now I have a relationship. And then Jacques, Blue Avian, helped me have more relationship with him, because then the Blue Avian, Jacques Blue Avian Logos was talking to Khan, which is the Lyran, who's who I channel sometimes. But do you, Monish, do you know the name, or no, do you know what Starseed family has approached you for sure, or you don't know yet?
I don't like I don't think I have been in contact or anything with them. Like, I'm still not sure what Starseed family I am from, but like when I had my awakening, I saw that I am in like astral body one day.
Okay.
And then I saw that I'm on a planet, which was like planet, or like it was a garden or a forest kind of area, and everything was like there was this tree, and it was blue, and there was blue fireflies, and Everything was
Okay.
like really blue and glowing, and there was somebody standing far away, and they were like this blue person, and
Hello?
perhaps they were in astral body too. So somebody told me that it could be the Syrian planet. I don't know. I really don't
Could
know,
be
but I feel
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think.
Syrians.
like
Yeah,
I
maybe.
feel connection to the like one time I feel connection to them, uh, the Syrians, because like it's bluish. I'm also really scared of dolphins and whales, and somebody told me that there's a planet full of like where dolphins and whales and cetaceans they come from originally, and that's also in the Sirius B constellation solar system. But
Yeah.
that's like I don't feel a heart-to-heart connection. It's I'm afraid of them, really afraid of them.
So, yeah. I mean, I feel like ultimately, it's like when you know, and so there's no need to like try to push your process or like yeah. I feel like at this point, it's like I don't really want to like ask, in the beginning of these, like, okay, what's your star seed, whatever, because it's like I don't want people to feel pressured like they need to know or have to know or whatever. Like it's like I'm still learning about my personal, lineage too and whatever, and so I mean in terms of like blue beings, I feel like Sirius is a common one, and it's like one that a lot of people talk about. So, it makes sense if you've heard that. And like Arcturians, in my experience, are also blue beings. But also there are like so many star systems, so many that we don't even like talk, even as like star seeds, a lot of them aren't, even mentioned. And so like yeah, I think it's okay to not know, and it's also like when you are ready to receive it, then you will, and that will be exciting. And like to me it's fun to like hear like Eric's process in his learning, but again it's like I'm not even, my experience was totally different, and that's okay. That's it's like
okay.
wonderful that we're able to all learn in our own way, in our own process.
I just wanted to know where you were on the process, if you knew, because
I
that's
really
always
do not know, man.
it's always helpful. I mean,
And also
blue.
like last year, like this was blue, but I'm not sure that was their physical bodies. That it looked really
It's
like
okay. No, it's fine.
transparent.
It's fine. You can take your time with it, because it's like the more you actually take your time with it, it actually that's more helpful. Because I think the times when you rush into certain things, that's
No,
when
I'm not rushing. Like this experience happened in 2016, and I haven't really done anything to like push or connect with me. Connect with me. I haven't really done that. So that's one thing. And then last year, I also suddenly I was like sun gazing, and I suddenly started speaking in light language. And then somebody released a YouTube video of Arcturian light language, and I sounded very much like what I was doing. I was singing a song which was like in Arcturian light language, I think. So, yeah, there's that Arcturian connection, but I really don't know.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, it's a lifelong process, right?
Yeah.
Like this is an eternal expansion of our being and our consciousness and our remembering. And so to me, like the whole point is to enjoy the process, enjoy the learning, and when it feels good, then that's indication that is, it's in resonance with our inner being and with the core of who we are, and we can just leave the rest, just okay, I'm not going to put that in my vibrational cake.
Yeah, it's just.
Why did you want to know that? What's
Oh, question for when I asked you the question. Your Starseed family?
yeah. Why did you ask that?
It's because your Starseed family, for example, I'm Lyran Starseed family and felines, and so the cats, falling. I mean, essentially, like it. It helps you find the actual signals that better because like the signals are brighter when you like the more and more you discover, right? The signals get brighter. And what I mean by that, it's like the cats were really all meowing last night and it was really ridiculous. Like it was kind of like they were, and it was like it's specifically cats and it's the feline Lyrans, then that's my family. And then so when I'm on a specific project, cats will show up to send me a message because they are the messengers to send me the message. So it's like, oh, that's why, because they're speaking cat language, and it's like, boom, there it is. Like it's
Can I say
just
something
the
about this?
fluency of the, yeah. It's just like when the signals happen, that's it. But that's just for me. It's like when you find the family it will show up in specific areas of your life that resonate with the family that's talking to you.
Yeah, it's really just like again, yeah, it's like, okay, this is how, with the cats, it's like, in Eric's case, like this is his vibrational resonance, right? And so this is how he is able to receive that love and that confirmation.
The light codes are through the cats. The cats are sending the light codes to me, right?
But and like when people, find out their soul origin or whatever, it's really more just an integration of a part of you. Like it's a part of you, right? And so that's why I'm saying it's like when you know, and it feels like you're coming home to yourself. And from there, it's a lot easier to integrate those pieces of yourself back into this human form, right? Because we're here, we're human now. We're here to have a human experience. But it's really just, again, yet another permission slip for you to be more you, right? It's like when you have a clarity on who you are, then it's a lot easier for you to be you and for you to express your authentic truth and all of that. And so when you, the more that you allow yourself to receive all of those little puzzle pieces of your soul, right, of your experience, then again, it's easier to integrate back into who you really are. Like I feel like for me personally, in the beginning of all of this awakening stuff, I found myself quite ungrounded actually, because I felt like I was kind of pushing to find out, okay, like, who am I and whatever, all this, but I wasn't allowing myself to actually integrate it back into who I am. So I feel like I've actually kind of like stepped back a little bit from the Starseed stuff a little, or like more just specifically, okay, what are the planets and whatever that I'm connected to, because it's like, okay, I need to get back to integrating and really discerning, okay, who am I really? Is this my energy or is this my ego talking? Is this my ego wanting it to be my, a piece of my soul origin or whatever? So again, it's like the heart, that heart chakra is your true indicator.
Yeah.
I wanted to also just point out that it's been 3 hours.
Oh, double time. If you guys need to go, it's because it's double time. That's good. Yeah, sorry.
No. No, I just wanted to yeah, really just close with that of like, ultimately, you know, we're having this conversation so we can activate each other. But ultimately, you know, your experience is truly yours, and your heart is the real indicator. It's the real compass, right, of that discernment and of what is true for you. And there is no one else that can tell you what is true for you, no matter how powerful they think they are.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Remember when we went back to the childlike excitement and the child? Yeah. So when I was a kid, I was obsessed with like, well, first I'm born in the year tiger, but I was obsessed with lion dance, like obsessed with it. Like there's this thing that because when you're a kid, like you're just you like, it doesn't matter like what anybody else says, because like no one's programmed you, like you're just you, like your parents can like tell you what, but you're like, no, I'm like gonna like. And so like there's this, I don't know, look into your childhood. There's this thing that you just do that your siblings don't do, if you have siblings, and in school the other kids in school don't do. And like when you find that thing, that's even more powerful indicator of like who you are. Like I loved lion dance. It was like the most ridiculous. Like I would just be like Chinese New Year, like that would be like my jam. Like that's all I do. And then I draw pictures of it. And then when Lion King came out and Disney, I was like, oh my God. And then it's just like it just kept showing up in a motif. And then like I buried it in my teenage years because it's like, you know, other things are developing, right? But then like I went back and I was like, oh man, it was just like that was the sign again, right? So it's like there's something. The other thing is there's something in your childhood that you just kept doing, and you did it obsessively, maybe in a way that is uniquely you, and that no one else can take away from you, and no one else has this specific passion for. And once you find that thing, then that's the opening path to the rest of the things. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and like
I was obsessed with lion dance, and now I'm a lyran feline. So like it's just like what?
When I was I was asking somebody on YouTube, have you guys seen the channel Activation Vibration? Yeah. So
yeah, she super activated me. Okay.
So like somewhere there, I was asking in the comments about this stuff. What's my starseed lineage? How can I know that? And somebody gave me a full list of like these. Okay, your experiences sound like could be this or Mintaka, which is the planet full of the ocean creatures and stuff. And they did, yeah, somebody, that same person mentioned that the Lyrians are also have a lot of vegetation and forests and blue cats and blue kinds of people. And so my vision could also happen from Lyria. Is it Lyria? And so I too was like really attracted to lions and watching lions on Nat Geo Wild and stuff. Lion King was like really my favorite movie, and I used to like impersonate lions and cats a lot when I was younger. I loved tigers and lions and stuff. Another thing that WISTY, when you were talking about how we are all this one being, I got this image. Like I was reading from Robert, like this book. Hold on. Do any of you know this book? It's
Robert
Monroe, Astral Projection. So that's the Monroe Institute for Research on Astral Projection. and he talks about this is the third book, and in the third book he talked about like how he astral projected and met this a race of humans, human-like beings somewhere on Earth in some other time, and they said like we are all one being. The whole collective of them was like one being, and they were going to evolve and go away from here. And so Robert Monroe asks them, are you going to leave anybody here for Earth? And they say that no, we're not going to leave anybody because we're all one being. So I thought, oh, if they're one being and if we're all one being, but like we are star seeds, but like right now we are in human form, all four of us here, everywhere in the world, we're all in human form, but like this human collective consists of certain human beings who are star seeds like you and me, and then there's like these special parts inside the body of the whole collective which are star seeds. Those are the talents of that collective human being, perhaps. And that was a beautiful.
Yeah, we are.
Came to
we mean the Brahman, the or even just the. I mean, we're the universe separating itself so it can have a conversation with itself and learn more about itself. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Right. The universe divided, and then had its diversity of consciousness, right, and perception, so it could have a conversation with itself, right? Whether it is masculine, feminine, the different species, the different planets, right? It's all the universe.
If you read about like the Ramdas's book, have you read the Be Here Now by Ramdas? He says like you're coming in, an enlightened being is like breathing in and breathing out, but with each breath he's like going into union and coming back out into duality. So like it's like that moment when you are with your lover and you're like kissing each other, you're like one being and you cannot like feel the difference, but then you come up to look into each other's eyes for a moment and say, oh, we're here and we're doing this. Just for that you do that. It's, you don't say it, but it's like happening deep inside you, and then you go back into union.
Yes, it's like that, you know, the duality exists because it is the catalyst for expansion. If there was no contrast ever, then nothing would ever change, and then
it'd just be this the little
right. There would be like the whole, you know, we are always everything, but if we didn't have this illusion of separation or duality or whatever, then right, nothing would ever change, and it would just be blank everythingness and nothingness at the same time all the time, right? And this is why it's like, okay, we want change, we want expansion, you know. So then duality happened, right? The Vesica Pisces moment, right? And then it just, that kept happening, and now here we are as you know, fragments of consciousness. But yes, ultimately we are all a part of that same oneness.
The singularity, right?
Yeah.
That expanded. The center of the universe is everywhere because it expanded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. It is getting mad and late.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good time to close
so much
the container.
Science. All right. Well,
but
my
this was
Lyran.
so awesome.
You guys are good. Well, you know, whenever my Lyran Starseed on the galactic, he's a science officer, so he'll just keep going on and on and on and on and on. This is pretty much Wisty's job to be like, okay, stop, go back into the engineering room and
yes,
work on
well, I'm just personally feeling the calling to nourish my
Yeah.
own body
Yeah,
with
yeah.
some food and everything. And
I need to go to the cafe and hang out with my buddies. So peace,
Yay.
y'all.
Thank you
Alright,
so
guys.
much. Yeah, especially, thank you so much for staying on and for this extra conversation. And the next one, is in 2 Saturdays from now. And in the Telegram, there was a request to talk about dreams. So we'll talk about dreams next time.
wow.
So that'll be exciting. So, if you have
wow.
any friends, anyone that you want to invite for this, you can invite. And also, I'll be sending you all the link to this recording because it was live on YouTube. So
Whoa,
again,
what? We went live? Okay. Oh,
so
wow. I just talk about my, that was fun on YouTube. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, YouTube?
well, I mean, okay, if you want me to unlist this, I can unlist it.
No,
but,
it's cool. No, then to keep it on.
I feel like it's
there
all
was a message
valuable
there's a
info.
message I got that was like, keep going, it will bear fruit. And I was like, I guess this is it.
Yeah, and so from now on, all of our conversations, will be recorded, so then the people who weren't able to join us live can still receive the valuable conversations and information and everything. And for me personally, I always love being able to look back and reflect, so this is helpful for me as well. But thank you so much. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you on the Telegram. And yes, I love you all so much. Thank you.
Bye, Wisty. Bye, Monish. Bye, Loic. You guys all rock. I'm gonna go to the cafe.
Yo.
Peace.
All right, bye, friends.